Florida State adds a 2025 offensive tackle recruit.
You are Locked On Seminoles, your daily podcast on the Florida State Seminoles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back into Locked On Seminoles. I am your host, Brian Smith, longtime recruiting analyst and writer. Thank you for making Locked On Seminoles your first listen each and every day. Today's show is about one player and one player only, Chastan Brown, offensive tackle out of Northside High School in Warner Robins, Georgia, is now a Florida State Seminole after pledging to Mike Norvell and the Noles. What does he bring to Florida State short-term, long-term? What are his rankings? How does he fit in with the class? And what's next for the Noles? We're going to break that down in this video starting right now. First, what do I think of him and what should Florida State fans know just about the basics of what this young man brings today? You're talking about a kid that's roughly 6'7", 6'8", 280 pounds, give or take, and he plays at Northside High School in Warner Robins. That's in central Georgia, and it is some of the best football in the United States. So to say the least, Chastan Brown will come into Florida State prepared as much as one can be from the prep level. Secondarily, we all know this to be true, and it's probably going to continue in the next class as well. The Noles need high school offensive tackles, guys they can develop over time. It's a long process because Florida State's so far behind, but adding this young man along with Mario Nash Jr., a kid who I think could be your left tackle for the future or right tackle, whatever you want him to be, is a nice combination. He's one of 4 offensive linemen now in this class, and Florida State's up to 23 recruits, so it helps round out the class quite nicely. As far as what I think he's going to do long-term, that's just development. Coach Hand and everybody really in the strength and conditioning program as much, if not more than anybody, will be responsible, along with Brown himself, of course, for making him a long-term possibility to be a multi-year starter. Can't teach the length, can't teach the height, can't teach the athleticism. Now it's time to get to work. He's not a finished product by any means because, let's be honest, 280-pound offensive tackles don't make it at the Power 4 level. He's going to need to get bigger, faster, stronger. And from watching the young man's tape, he's still a long way away from where he needs to be in terms of his technical ability. When to strike, which foot to lead with in certain situations, how to get outside zone and inside plays, all figured out. Everything with that is precision. The footwork in particular takes forever with high school linemen to college linemen, and even professionals are constantly honing their skills, and this is no different for Brown. So redshirt year, after that, I expect to see him start to compete. We'll see how it goes, but it's up to him. As for rankings and all of that fun stuff, I'm going to share my screen for those of you on YouTube. And if you're not on YouTube, you're listening on Spotify or Apple or something else, that's fine. I will go over all the rankings for this young man. He is a very talented player, but 2 of the services, On3 and Rivals, surprising to me, don't have him ranked in the top 250/ not a 4-star guy. They both have him as a 3-star. Rivals has him as the number 45 offensive tackle, On3 number 64. As for 24/7, they've got him at number 226 overall, the 21st offensive tackle, and ESPN number 254 and the number 30 offensive tackle. What does he bring long-term to Florida State is probably the question that I need to try to define the most. And to be honest with you, it's just stability. Florida State has gone out and gotten 4 guys from the transfer portal for this next season. They had to. And that, to be honest, is still a low number to me. I think it would be good if they could pick up another in the spring if possible. We'll see what they do. But Florida State needed to go hit the portal for offensive line this year, and they did really well considering what was available. Having said that, if you're going to be good, and I'm talking about really good, compete for titles, if you look at the teams that were just in the Final Four, the college football playoff, there was one guy, I think off the top of my head, that was on like the 2 deep for Penn State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, or Texas, that was a transfer offensive lineman. Homegrown, long-term development, 3, 4, 5 years for these guys in a program. There is no shortcut. Getting guys like Brown in the program, Mario Nash, all these different players they brought in last year and will bring in again in 26, it's the rebuilding process for Florida State. So the projection for me is just get to work, figure out which side is better for him, whether it's right or left. Hopefully he can play each position. Same with Mario Nash for that matter. And you figure it out each year. May the best man win. It's been a while since we talked about Florida State consistently bringing in high school linemen that were coveted and had this kind of length of talent. It's a good thing they did, but at the same time, we need this to be the norm, not the exception. So what's next for Florida State? To wrap up, this is my last point. 2026, minimum 4 offensive linemen from the high school ranks. And again, tackles are premium, need at least 2 of them. And hopefully you can get another inside guy that is versatile, like a Sean Perrette that got brought in from Georgia. They got a center in this last class, but it's never bad to get another one. I don't think you would be remiss to get more than one. It's having depth there. Hurt Florida State. They obviously had some problems at that position over the last couple of years because their center was banged up, but it is Big Mo did the best he could, but getting another center would be great as well. Thank you once again for making Locked On Seminoles your first listen each and every day. I will see you again tomorrow. Everybody have a good one. Take care.